Hey friends, Tia here at B5 Designs, and I am on, as promised, to show my planner and some of the planner spreads that I do, and talk about that a little bit. I've had a couple of requests. I don't show me decorating because I'm very sporadic with it, just to be completely honest. So I think I started out with a classic size, and then because I watch a lot of planner channels and Planner Time with Michael. Hey, Michael, if you're watching, he does the big vertical, and so that's or the I think it's called big, but this is a big one, and it is big, and I can't carry it in my purse. I don't want to carry it in my purse because I use a very small purse, if I use a purse at all. Usually, sometimes I just use a little clutch. Anyway, so this is a big, and I would say it's vertical, and it is, but let me move this out of the way. It's kind of, how do I want to say? Let me just show you. So this is the cover, and it is just for 2025. It has the white ring binders, and it has a lot of different pages. But what I'm on here to show you now, I got this. I don't do what I believe is called the dashboard. I don't do that. Wait a minute. This is called the dashboard. I don't do that. I have thought about just having this page be like gratitude. So I do have plans to eventually do it, but it won't be till 2026. And I do know that I am going to get the classic size in 2026. Now this one, I think I got it in December or January. I'm not sure. But you can see I didn't do anything with the monthly. I don't think I did anything at all. And I think my thought was that I would go back because I'm, like I said, not 100% sure when I got it. And again, the same with February. So I'm thinking I didn't get it until March. And here is the March dashboard, which I didn't do anything with. As I said, let me raise, I think I might I was thinking I would raise that up. But this is kind of a monthly spread, and I am definitely a sidebar girl. I just like to decorate it and then, put in a couple of quotes, mostly decor. Big things that happen, like we did a family night at my son's, so I have that kind of in a bigger sticker. And then I did a consignment sale, went to a consignment sale with my daughter-in-law and granddaughter. This is in March, so I also have, I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit. I have appointments in here that I do. I put a little St. Patrick's Day thing in there. I do Bible study. One time I was sick, so I didn't. And I do keep track of when I am sick because of the health issues that had been having. I was off a day of work because of weather. I had an eye exam. There's another time when I was off because I was sick. Here's another time that I was off because of weather, dental appointments, doctor appointments, all the things. And then I went into decorating the weekly spread. So I'm going to kind of I don't really know how to get up really close, and I don't know that I need to get up really close. And we got a glare, but this will give you an overview. Like, this is March, obviously, so I did that. I did some corner decorating. I did put some more stuff in the sidebar, and then I just went through and okay, so my planner has all of the middle squares have bullets. end lines. And I didn't want that, but that's fine. So what I did on this spread is I wrote in that appointment that I had that day, and then this one I just put off due to winter storm, and I just really decorated it up, and I kind of thought this is a week where I didn't have a lot going on, and so I just decorated, and I do put it just in case, because I do these ahead of time usually. Now I will go back and catch up everything that I haven't. And so here is my March 10th. I'm just showing you what I do because I had some people ask. So I just really use up a lot of stickers. I love stickers. That's what I like to do. And again, I'm using the inside, that middle one, for my appointments, like Bible study, eye doctor, that consignment sale that I was talking about, a shopping day, family day, and I don't know what this is about. I must have got mixed up on the day. And then you'll see here again, I have it all decorated up. I didn't really do, it's mostly really for me to just come in and decorate. So, and then here, the last week of March, I didn't do anything. Like I said, I'm pretty sporadic with it. April, I did all in ribbons and bows, as you can see, but I haven't gone back in and written anything in, which I would transfer, write it in off my phone. So I would go in and I have all of these in here to where I could write appointments. And then usually if you see a square, I knew that I had an appointment or some on the weekend, some kind of family gathering. But like I said, I did just the monthly spread on this month. I didn't do any of the weekly. And then in May I started, and I did just the monthly spread. So you see, I'm very sporadic with it. So that was May. And then I went in and I started doing weekly spreads and just decorating, because I buy these planner books, and it is something that I try to sit down and do a couple of times a week. I like to do the sidebar. I like to use the washi strips, the big boxes. So there's another weekly that I was doing, and then nothing for a couple of weeks. And then June, I didn't do a monthly spread. I didn't do anything. And like I said, I plan to go back. July, I think, is when I started thinking about maybe making this just a gratitude page. And I did write down here in the corner what book I used, which was Happy Planner, Apricot, and Sage. And that is kind of what I used here. And I mark when I take my B12 shots, because I have to keep track of that. I have, the 4th of July, we were closed on this day. I got a massage. My grandson turned 5. My husband had a doctor's appointment. I had a phone interview for a job. I had 3 phone interviews. I had to go get my pneumonia shot because that's part of my immunology testing. The birthday thing for my grandson, and that's where we had his party. And then I just started decorating, but I'm guessing I stopped. But then you go to this page and I've got all kinds of stuff going. So it's, sporadic, but this is the hard thing for me, is because I'm sporadic with it, I forget where I left off. So that's kind of crazy. So then in August, I went in and I kind of decided that going forward, I would do my monthly, and I know sometimes ahead of time, like if I'm going to have a day off, or like I knew we were going to the Omaha Zoo. So I kind of planned on keeping it small with my monthly spread, but like I knew I was going to my son's house. I knew I was watching my granddaughter. So those would kind of go in these little small things. That's what I have planned. Then when I get into my weekly spreads, my thought was I would just do because I have that's where I would mostly put my appointments. But I also wanted to do decorations, so I could put my appointments here, I could put bullets here, and I can also write, and or I can write over here in that area. So I did do kind of a lot more than usual in August. And I used different planner spreads. So different planner books. So going forward, I think I'm going to have Post-it notes so I can say, well, I did this week's spread with this book, because it's hard. Planning is hard. If you're wanting to use one Happy Planner book, you could do that for a full monthly spread, just the monthly page, but I can't do it for if I'm going to go in and do week by week. I can't. There's not enough stickers, in my opinion. Not that they don't go together, because they do, but not enough for me to mix and match. So I think that's why other people kind of started doing their own. Some people make their own boxes, stuff like that. But, I'm doing it for fun, for me to just sit down and relax. But yet, there's a little part of me that wants to be like some of the really good planner channels that I watch, like Planner Time with Michael. I think it's called Jess Plans Her Day. I really like her. I watch Lori Dean Plans. There's a slew of them that I watch, and some I watch faithfully and some I don't. It just depends. But so then I got into September, and I don't have a lot going on in September, but there are some things that we did do that I haven't documented yet. Like we did my granddaughter's birthday party, and I want to have balloons and stuff, so I got to go track down those stickers. I'm going to be announcing my giveaway winner on the 14th. If you don't know about that, go back a few videos back and look for the video that says surprise ending. I am giving away a brand new Walking in a Winter Wonderland paper pad from Hobby Lobby. So if you'd like to enter that, go look at that video and see what you need to do. I did go through and decorate up the sidebar. I love that. Again, I'm just using the littler, these aren't as small for dates when I have stuff going on. And I'm not completely done, because I will be going in and adding things to this. Is Chase coming? So we have to tell him to be quiet. Sorry guys, my husband just walked in and now my son's walking in, so I'm just kind of asking him to be quiet. So as my month goes, I will add more. And like my job, I work pretty much 11 to 4:30. I don't really need to keep track of that in here, but I could. Mostly like my shots that I have to do, appointments. Like I said, not a whole lot going on this month. And then I started on the weekly, and I've said multiple times that I'm behind. So, and then I just wanted to use these. I've not ever used those, but I only had 6. So I put this in the middle. And again, this is where I'll put my appointments. The rest will be decor, and then I can write do some memory keeping, that kind of thing. So tonight I will finish these up, and then I will start on the, I don't even know what day it is, to be honest. I think today's the 11th. So I need to catch that up, and then going forward I'll try to be like a week ahead. And then I have, you know, like I put that, I saw this sticker, so I knew I wanted to put it in here, and I know we're having a family thing on the 27th. So, and then I did go through and mark my paydays, but a lot of times I take those out and put in whatever, if there's a matching one for my, out of whatever planner, happy planner I'm working on. So that's it. That is my share of how I do my planner. And like I said, I kind of talked about how I do it different. And what I mean by that is I go through and I do the monthly spread, or that is the idea, to do the monthly spread, get the appointments and stuff in that I know that I have, and then it would be a matter of coming back as things get added. And this usually sits on my end table in my living room, so I can go in and work on it whenever I feel like it. So yeah, that's it, you guys. That's how I do my planner. That's what my planner looks like, that I buy 800 planner sticker sets for. So there you go. And hopefully I will be more consistent with it, and I will come back on and show you like monthly spreads. So that's it. I will see you guys in my next crafty video. Everybody have a great rest of your week. It is Thursday. Woohoo! I'll talk to you later. Bye.